Many people believed God of War Ragnarok to be a DLC to God of War 2018, but they were completely wrong. God of War Ragnarok is much bigger than God of War 2018 in every aspect. Unlike God of War 2018, where you explore only Midgard and Alfheim, here you explore two more new realms named Svartalfheim, which is a realm of dwarves, and Vanaheim, which is a realm of, well, it's a big forest. Okay, I don't know, just leave me alone. Even Midgard and Alfheim looks very different because it's Fimbulwinter, and that's why they look absolutely new. So it's more like you're exploring them once again. In fact, this game allows you to travel to 9 realms. However, Asgard is a realm which is only used for the story. So technically you travel only to 8 realms. Even though you can explore all these realms, these 4 realms are much bigger with different look and feel, many side missions, some of which have amazing stories, different variety of enemies to fight, and various different boss battles. Speaking of enemy, the biggest complaint that everybody had with God of War 2018 is the lack of variety in the enemies. And so that's why in Ragnarok everything is different. Every realm has a different set of enemies and their own fighting style. Instead of just having some draugrs and elves all the time, because of this variety, it makes each fight in each realm more interesting and more fun. The same goes with the boss fights, and each of these boss fights are fun, whether it's fighting an alligator or a centaur or a berserker and so many more. Even fighting is changed from God of War 2018. Breaking someone's guard is a much important thing in this game, and at one point you also choose what type of shield do you want, whether it's only parry or only block shield. You do use the same weapons in the game, but now you have new skills to unlock, which is very fun to play with. And also have new tricks that you can use during combat, such as throwing a stone using your blades or using a pillar to your advantage. You also get a new spear at a later point in the game, which has its own power. So now you cycle between 3 different weapons, and using all of that in a combination is so much more fun. Even your rage has changed. Instead of just having the normal rage, you can now switch to Valor, which uses a portion of your rage to give you health, or Wrath, where you use a chunk of your rage and charge to an enemy with intensity. All these rage types are useful in different scenarios, and it actually gives you an option on which one you want to choose. Also, this time around, Atreus is not your only companion, because now you got Sindri, Brock, and Freya, who will be at some point your companion, and they are all unique. Sindri is more afraid but will still help you, whereas Brock will charge right into the attack, while Freya knows how to fight against enemies. And it's just not Kratos you fight as, because you do switch to Atreus for story purposes, and even then you get new companions. Playing as Atreus is so much more fun because not only you have bow and arrow, but it just feels good, and then you also have your rage that you discover at a later point in the game, which is also very fun. Also, finding chests are much harder in God of War Ragnarok. Some of these chests will let you go farther away or circle around them to get to the piece that you need to destroy. Some also need you to use different weapons, and some might even need you to plant a spell in a particular fashion. Many people complain about how companions are helping you in these puzzles, but that's not entirely true. Companions only help you at puzzles which are actually much easy to solve. But when it comes to a puzzle which is actually hard, where you have to get a chest which is locked inside a room, those companions will never help. And in the end, it's just story. While 2018 God of War had a specific goal in the story, and that was to spread Faye's ashes to the highest peak in all the realms, and in their journey Kratos and Atreus would face difficulties by the gods. This time, the story does not have a specific goal. It is much more complicated and much bigger. Hell, God of War 2018 takes 20 hours to finish the main story, whereas God of War Ragnarok takes about 25 hours to finish the main story. Now that is without doing any kind of side missions. The story is much more grand and epic than 2018 and takes you through an emotional journey that you can't miss. It's quite obvious that God of War Ragnarok is much better than God of War 2018, but for some of you, that might not be true. However, there is one amazing thing about God of War Ragnarok, and that is this interview of Daniel Bisutti, who played Freya in God of War Ragnarok. Check this video out to know what she thinks about the game.